with another presentation. It's your boy Hezeleo. Still representing, still holding it down. Got a closet full of these. It ain't my fault. Some boys feel some kind of way. Make me no never mind. But this morning on the Trillcast, I got something else that I'd like to tackle. And I'd like to keep this as professional as possible, as I can. And I'll do my best. You know what I mean? So I was observing a handful of indie films, and my lady friend was accompanying me while I was observing, doing my research. I'm the type of person, I enjoy things better when I have a dog in that fight. So because I knew the director personally, I was looking at the movies from a different angle. And I enjoyed them. And I did some reviews on them. And that brought me to the part of starring in maybe a future film of his. But my lady friend, I don't know if she really understood what I was doing. So she began to watch some spin-off movies like the movies that we checked out. And she thought maybe I was interested in those films. And I didn't mean to come off rude or ugly. And I hope I was understood. And I had to check my content with one of my sisters. My lady friend is mixed. You know what I mean? She's of two other races. I'll just say that. But she still got a, you know what I mean? She still got one of them. Yeah. But that's either here nor there. So what I basically was pointing out, she was checking out one of these indie films that had all this Southern Baptist depiction, all this empty drama, and pretty much ghetto conduct. And she think that's something I could relate to, that I might want to see because I watched these other films. Now this film, you know what I mean? Turn it off. I'll go watch it somewhere else. I don't want to see that crap. And she was trying to figure out, like, why you so offended? And I said, it may look like black people to you, but what you're looking at is a over heightened sensation of our conduct and our character. Now, don't get me wrong. There are young ladies that conduct themselves like the ladies we were watching in the film. There are. I grew up with them. But the evolution of a younger mind not being fed the right foods to grow to become a young woman, and then an independent woman taking care of her business. That's the depiction that needs to happen. We don't need to keep taking our adolescent selves, that conduct we had as adolescents, and projecting that like this is how we conduct ourselves as we've evolved into young adults, taking care of our business. Grown woman business, grown man business. You know what I mean? Excelling in society. Reaching all kind of heights in society. Even those of us who had no education, who was struck down, who was placed in positions to lose, we still overcame. And I always have to reflect back on history, because we'll take one group of people and another group of people and have a demonstration right quick. Let's say we had a 20-yard finish line. We had 5 people over here and 5 people over here. When you blow the whistle and say go, what if the 5 people on the right were not blocked, were not hindered, were not bothered, and they can just move forward towards the finish line? That would be easy peasy. But the 5 people on the left, let's say you spin them around. You spin them around. You take each one of those individuals and you spin them around in place. And then you blow the whistle and say go. Those people that you spent around, before they can move forward, they're going to have to gather themselves because they're dizzy. They might go side to side. They might go the opposite way. But then once they get their mind together, they can start moving forward. So that's a demonstration of blacks in America, shaken and stirred like dice and thrown out there and say, go Excel, go, now go. Now go, keep up. Never repaired mentally or emotionally, but told, go on now, get out there and get it. You good, now go. Damaged goods. You good, now go, go, go. So the depictions that they show is of conditions that's handed down over and over and over to where it make me, and I think a lot of other black men, sick of our stomachs. You created this conduct and want to attach it to our skin tone, like ghetto, poverty, and uneducation is a part of this. Now, when you look at this, don't attach that to this. This is beautiful. This is strong. This is enduring. Because you could turn on any social device or app right now and you'll see any race of people showing that type of conduct. Now, where they got it from, who cares? They could keep it if they want to. It's theirs. You could have it. You could have it. Don't give it back. But to depict my sisters as if they're always loud and obnoxious and ugly and ignorant. Maybe they once were when they were children, some, a small percentage. But let's think of how that was created. Let's think of how that possibly was created. In the early 1900s, I always speak of history because one doesn't happen without the other. Black men in the homes were demasculated. They were intimidated. They were treated like mere boys. And shout out to all those brothers who overcame those conditions and still took care of their families and owned land and property. Shout out to all those brothers who endured that. But some of those brothers wasn't near strong enough. So they go out into society and they're kicked and they're physically beat down. They're hindered, they're blocked. They're frustrated. They can't really take it out on the oppressor, or they'll be lynched or killed or thrown in prison for countless amount of years, which it happened to a lot of us. But maybe when they go home, they easily triggered. Maybe when they go home, They experiencing mental conditions that they can't put a finger on. And they're making some moves that's not necessary to be inside the household. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, just all sorts of things. Maybe they start to abuse drugs and alcohol. They trying to repair something that they don't even understand because the world is coming down on them. So we move many years later. Now a lot of the women cannot endure that conduct from that man. And then the government says, here, we can give you help with housing, but that man can't be in that house. Here, we also can give you some government assistance, but you can't have that man in that house. He's already being worthless because he's shaken and stirred trying to walk this race. So it's easy for her to say, get out. You did. So he removes himself and he does what he do. He go here, there, and do what he do. Maybe he get himself together, maybe he don't. So now you have this younger woman who's trying to raise these children. She's a mere girl herself. But let's take her out of the equation. Let's go to her young girls. All she know is to bring them to church. That's what she's been taught. That's her savior, pastor, with that good word. That's what she put her trust. So she bring them to church. They start budding at an early age, 12, 13. They start budding, meaning bodies start developing, but their minds haven't. But they're trusted around these men of the cloth. They're trusted around these Southern Baptist pastors. And as we all know how that goes sometimes that don't go well. Sometimes they get taken advantage of. And it happens with brothers, big cousins, uncles, grandfathers, and fathers. I've heard some hellacious stories and atrocities. So nobody will be excused. So now this young 12, 13-year-old girl has been introduced to a world that she has no idea how that's going to turn out. And before her mind develops, her body does. And so this happens over and over. Now she has a child. So her conduct is of a girl, a child. She's really a child, but her body has developed, but her mind hasn't. And now she's growing up in a impoverished environment with multiple young girls that's experienced what she's experienced. So what do you think their conversations consist of? It's not going to be intellect. It's going to be ignorance. They're not going to know the tone of their voices because everybody speaks this way. Everybody speaks incorrect. Nobody's trying to excel past the limits that's been put on them. They're uneducated. They're already mothers. So their peer group of young boys going to look at them as if, oh, I just want to give me some too. Nobody want to settle down with them because they already got 2, 3 babies and they ain't even 17, 18 years old. But they haven't even educated their minds on life or have an understanding of what's really going on in society. They've accepted their conditions. Yeah, they're going to be loud. Yeah, they're going to be ignorant. They're not going to speak well. So what are they going to do to masquerade that? They're going to add antics that are entertaining to cover up the fact they don't have a clue what's going on in society and in this world. Appreciate that support, my brother. Appreciate that support. Jesus Trevino, I see that support. So now their conduct is going to be put under a microscope and everybody's going to say, that's how black women act. No, that's not how black women act. That's how young girls in certain situations may conduct themselves. then they get stuck in that situation. And then they become 35, 40 and have a bunch of kids of their own. And they're moving around to stores in different places. And people look at them and point a finger. But they don't understand how that was created. She's not 35 or 40. She's that 12, 13-year-old girl that got taken by that man that she trusted. And her body developed, but not her mind. So no, I don't want to see no movies where you take grown black women and slap all that raggedy, ugly on top of their head and have them talking all loud and ignorant like that's a firm representation of my sisters. That ain't no firm representations of my sisters. Maybe when my sisters were younger, little girls. But no, my sisters are out there doing great things in life. Doctors, lawyers, police too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Engineers, bakers, creators, fashion designers. Our sisters are queens and they're great. If you want to depict them, show us the intellect of them. But we can't expect others to do it. So if we are in the control with the cameras and the scripts to create movies, it's time that we do it. Yeah, we're going to have some of that in there because we have it. No, it exists. I probably got a cousin I can call right now, going to answer the phone. Boy, yeah, and check this, you know what I mean? And I probably got a cousin I can call the guy at the penitentiary. I ain't trying to act like it don't exist. And there's a call from the penitentiary. Here's a call from the jailhouse as we speak. Now, that just happened to be right on time. Hello? Yeah. Hey, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to get to the point. And this is crazy. Hey, can you call me back in about 10 minutes? Do that for me. Yeah. So all I'm saying is this. Brothers, sisters, we do not have to be the stereotypes of society. It ain't cool no more. It's played out. It's really stupid. You know what I mean? It's really stupid for you to sit in your conditions when you know better. Once you know better, you start to do better. You know what I mean? It'll be ignorant for me to go back to my hood and just post up and conduct myself like I used to 25, 30 years ago and think that's cool. That would be a form of mentally retardation. That would be a form of mentally retardation. So we have these men who take advantage of these little girls. Take advantage of these little girls. Little girls don't even know what's going on in the world. Then they grow up, like I say, becoming their 20s and 30s. And I seen a video the other day. It was a young lady got her baby still in hair weave. She one of them people I'm talking about. She's still a little girl in her mind. Probably mentally retarded. You know what I mean? A lot of people. You know what I mean? But a lot have overcame those circumstances and elevated way past that. How about those depictions? The ones that came from poverty and overcame all the circumstances and situations. How about those depictions? But the two roles that I'm going out for in the movie, I've advanced from my headshot to now having the script. So the two roles that I'm going after, one role is of a brother that's a bartender, and the other role is of a street dude. I want to participate. I want to participate. So I'm gonna audition for those roles. My participation is to get the feel, to get my feet wet. You know what I mean? Because in the near future, I want to shoot my own films. And at this point, the vibe between me and the brother is going well enough to where we might can work together. So I'm gonna audition for those parts. But I am gonna say right now, today, on the Trill Cast, we don't have to be those stereotypes. That's a wrap. That's over with. Let people who are amazed by that, infatuated with that, entertained by that, let them have it. Seem like I see a lot of people love it. You know what I mean? They love it. So they could have it. It's time for us to try on some new clothes and some new shoes and play some new roles and get some new resources and new options for our people. But I'm your boy, Hezeleo. This was the Trill Cast. This just my little old spiel. And ain't did no cursing. I'm out.